character was fully built, voiced, animated, cinematics done in multiple languages, and days before release, what did the studio do? It killed him completely. Now, there are petitions with over 100,000 signatures in a single day. Fans in Japan, the US, and half a dozen other regions all separately organizing, and the community that's now openly split between the people who got him cancelled and the people furious that he was. This is the Valko situation in Love and Deepspace, and I really think this might be the most dramatic thing that happened in the gacha space all year. Okay, now before anything, here's the actual timeline, because this is wild when you lay it out flat. Infold announced Valko as the game's sixth love interest, built him completely, fully designed the character, voice acting recorded in multiple regional languages, cinematics finished, and had him to be released on July 9th. And then June 30th, just over a week before launch, Infold announced that he was cancelled, not delayed. And in the same breath, they said there will never be a future love interest added to the game going on forward. The second part is the detail that turned this from a character who got cut into the entire future shape of this game just changed overnight. Now let me just say one thing. I never played the game, I'm not into the drama type games. But one thing that I really know is that it ranks number 1 at the gacha revenue each month. Now, why would the studio scrap a fully finished character this close to launch? From what's being reported, the core issue tracks back to backlash onto Chinese server over his name and characterization. Now, that concern was about his name, which carried an uncomfortable phonetic resemblance to a term tied to a historical anti-Japanese raiders. And once that concern started circulating, the backlash on CN grew, and Infold's response was to pull him entirely rather than rename him or rework him. And then the fallout happened. A petition on iPetition asking Infold to bring him back blew past 100,000 signatures in a single day, and it was explicitly aiming for 1 million. There's also a separate change.org petition sitting at over 70,000 verified signatures, making the case that cancelling already announced content set a scary precedent for whether any future content can be trusted to actually come through. And there are multiple of smaller petitions stacking on top of all of this. Here's what I think is the real core of the fan argument. Again, I never play the game, but I love controversy and I love to read stuff on Reddit. So this is what I gathered solely alone on my information. Please inform me if I'm misguided and I will gladly comment on my mistakes. The first thing was, if a character was this close to release with this much finished work already sitting on a shelf, can you just get it deleted because one part of the player face pushed hard enough? What does that even mean for literally anything else the studio announces in the future? That's pretty much the first thing I see in the lines of these petitions, and it's really fair. Global fans who never had any problem with Valko are now looking at future content announcement and asking, is this actually going to be released? Is this actually going to be happening? Or is this contingent on nobody complaining hard enough? That's a really damaging thing for a live service game to accidentally teach its own player base. Trusting the content that will actually launch as promised is honestly one of the most valuable things a studio can have. Now, to be fair to Infold for a second, I'm not defending it, but this is completely unprecedented. And it's not automatically the wrong call just because it's unpopular with a part of the fanbase. Names and characterization that unintentionally brush up against real historical or cultural sensitivities are really part of a big problem that we should take seriously. If this concern was legitimate, quietly shipping him anyways just to avoid the fan disappointment would have been the worst decision. I agree with this. Whether I think Infold actually messed up isn't the decision to pull him. It's the way they handled the aftermath, cancelling him outright instead of delaying the rework and permanently promised no future love interest ever. Now that is a really big problem. A delay and a rename would have solved the original complaint without nuking the game's entire future roster philosophy or making global fans feel like collateral damage in a decision that had nothing to do with them. I don't think Infold was wrong to take the original culture concern seriously. That part was probably the right instinct, but the response was overreacted. Full cancellation plus a permanent policy change was a massive swing for what could have been solved by a delay or a redesign. And I think that's the part fueling all the fan anger. As for the petitions, will the million signatures actually bring Valko back? Well, gacha studios have reserved course under enough sustained pressure before, but it usually takes more than signatures alone. It takes spending patterns actually shifting. If engagement and revenue visibly dip because of this, Infold will definitely make a decision to bring him back stronger than before. But if the game keeps on performing fine regardless, the petition probably would end up with a very loud statement that doesn't change the outcome and end with a very long apology. Anyway, this is a case study in how a fanbase can organize when they feel like it. Trust has been broken, and that's worth paying attention to no matter what. And let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Was I actually wrong in my takes? I really wish I did not offend the fanbase by any means, and guys, trust me, I'm really with you on this one. So again, excuse my ignorance, and just know that I support you.